is Lulu and these are my books. And today we're doing a little thing called a walk of accountability. That's what I'm calling these videos at this point because like this is a problem. This is a financial problem. It's been a couple of months since I did my last video where I went through all of the books that I've obtained, and it is currently July. So, and I'm supposed to be on a book buying ban, but nah. Just not really my speed. Okay, so let me be real. I have toned down my book buying a lot since then. However, I am going to show you all of the books that I have obtained in the last couple of months since my last book update video. So we're gonna do that. Just to note, some of these books are from a Fairy subscription and the others are just like books I've picked up from Barnes & Noble because I was there before work at some point and I just, just like snatched. So yeah. And then two of these books are also special editions mainly because either I wanted them or B, I hated the OG covers. You know me at this point. If I hate the OG covers, I will find something to make them better. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. So the first book we're going to start with at the top of the first pile is The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. This is a horror novel, and I was honestly looking for it for a while. It was, it's been recommended to me several times, and I just, and I watched, a video of someone, reading it and, going through the aspects of it. And I know that this is, this is Liv's favorite book from Olivia Reads a Latte. I know this is one of her, favorite books of all time. And I've honestly never been into the horror genre, so it's good. So I think it'll be good to really, go through it. So what I know about this book is that it is set in, it's not the 1950s. I know that. But it is set in a time where there's a lot of, gender norms and, gender, preferences and all of that. And we follow this woman named Patricia who is in a book club with, I think, 2 or 3 of her other friends. And she, in this book club is the only way she really gets out from her life as a mother and a wife because of her husband and her teenage children. But one day, someone moves in next door and he is sus. He's so sus. It's actually crazy. And Patricia and her friends are like, we need to keep an eye on him. So, and I think it goes from there. I'm not entirely sure really, but I do know that this is going to be very interesting considering it's not fantasy. It's more historical horror fiction thing, and it isn't fantasy either. At least I don't think it is. So, we're gonna have to see. The next book that I picked up is Belladonna by
Bombastic Side Eye.
Belladonna by Adeline Grace. So this book I was also watching for a little bit because I just really enjoyed the concept. I believe this one's also kind of like a magical realism horror type thing. So essentially you follow this girl named Signa who is who has gone through different households ever since she was orphaned as a baby. She's gone through different households and now she ends up at the household of a distant relatives. And suddenly things get really hectic in the dynamic and there's a lot of poison and a lot of things and stuff. At least that's what I remember. But I do know, but when I picked this book up, I didn't notice, well, I loved this cover, first off. I did love it. But also, I just absolutely adored, A, the end papers, and B, the naked hardback, because can we just see? And the back is even more stunning. And then it says on the front of the naked hardback, it says, it's said that 5 belladonna berries are all it takes to kill someone. So I'm very excited for that. Pretty excited for this, actually, to read this book and see what happens with it. The next 2 books are the first 2 books in a series, and I'm actually currently reading the series. The first book is called The Mask of Mirrors, and the second book is called The Liar's Knot by M.A. Carrick. So essentially what the series is about, and I know this because I'm reading it right now, what the series is about, it's about a girl named Ren and her sister Tess. And essentially Ren is trying to use her like beauty and grace and like to try and like pretend that she's a noble woman from like a different country, to try and trick her way into like wealth and riches and try and piece together like a future for both her and her sister. But she gold digs a little too hard and gets involved in some serious drama, and now she's just like, fuck, I guess. It's just a whole mess, man. And here's the thing. She comes from a very underprivileged background, and the world this is set in is honestly immaculate. Like, this world building in here is absolutely great. The only thing I struggle with is the pronunciations of a lot of things, like the names and like the names of places and peoples and like groups of people, you know, those kinds of things. But either way, this book is really good. It's adult fantasy, obviously. But I'm excited to get further into the book, and I'm just going to say right now, I'm very excited for how this goes, because through this book we've also already gotten like a glimpse of like some of the spiritual beliefs, and part of that includes this book's version of tarot. And from what I understand from the one scene that we got, both of these titles are from like what in this world's tarot deck, like the cards from this book's tarot deck. And I'm honestly really excited. But yeah. And as I said, this is a series. However, this is a trilogy, actually. However, the third book comes out August 15th. So we're going to have to see. I do plan on like going through it. I pray that I finish this series by the time the book 3 comes out, but I don't know. That's probably not gonna happen, but anyways, the next book is Lady Tan's Circle of Women by Lisa C. This is her newest release, and I saw this book like at the Barnes and Noble table. It was $3 off, so I was like, give it. Essentially what this book is about, I read Snowflower and the Secret Fan. I annotated it as well. This book I know follows kind of a similar tone and doesn't exactly tackle female friendships and things like that. However, it does tackle a lot of it tackles a lot about the world of women and like a woman's role in a lot of things. So I'm really excited to get to this book. I don't know very much about it. However, I am very excited because the first line of this book, not the first line of the book, the first line of the synopsis is literally, according to Confucius, an educated woman is a worthless woman. But Tan Yunxian, born into an elite family, haunted by death, separations, and loneliness, is being raised by her grandparents to be of use. So it's essentially, I'm just really excited, and also, I dropped a book. And, also, these end papers are really interesting. The end papers are really nice. Honestly, I really like them. So, yeah. All right, next book we have is Delicious Monsters by Lysol Samberry. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. However, this is also a horror book. This book, essentially, it follows 2 main perspectives, and they're 10 years apart. So one is 10 years in the past and the other is 10 years in the future. And essentially it's one girl living the infamous story of this like haunted house, and another girl trying to find out the details and the roots of the haunted house. And I'm honestly really excited for the dual perspective portion of it. and it sounds like super, super interesting. It is YA, so I'm going to see how I feel about it. Not that I hate YA, it's just like I've just been enjoying a lot more adult fantasy and adult fiction more lately, so we're gonna have to see. The next book I picked up sorely just because I didn't really know what else to really do. I honestly don't know why I picked up this book. However, I am kind of excited because I read the first like paragraph and a half, and I was like, I laughed. It's The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. So this book, so all I've heard about this book is that it is sad as hell, and it's also not sapphic. That's not the correct word for it. But I know like it involves a relationship between Achilles and Patroclus, all of that. And that is in the original, like, Iliad is already sad as hell. Like, like, because it's literally his bro, because their bromance was just so good in the Iliad already. So I'm interested to see the, what is it? I'm interested to see how it's been reimagined into this book. But literally, the first line of this book, it's also a special edition, if you couldn't tell. I don't even know why. I honestly, I didn't pick it up because it was pretty. I picked it up because it says that because there's a line in here that just made me laugh. On the first page of chapter 1, it really just made me laugh. When at last they pulled off the veil, they say my mother smiled. This is how they knew she was quite stupid. Brides did not smile. And that killed me. I don't know why. It just did. It just killed me. Okay, so these next two books are special editions I picked up. I picked them up in my last vlog, but I just decided to include them in here because I love them so much. They are the special editions of Priory of the Orange Tree and A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon, and these editions are done by The Broken Binding. There was nothing really changed about the like dust jackets or anything. However, what has changed is the edges. If you can see, they're both dragons, and they're so good, so good. They both have ribbon bookmarks. And I'm going to show you Pride of the Orange Tree first. But these are the end papers. And then this is the naked hardback. The royal hardback on these was absolutely stunning. And I just couldn't bring myself to pass it up. Honestly, like, just look. And then there's a quote on the spine. I love it. I'm not going to go into really detail with these because I already did in a vlog. I don't remember which one it was. But I did in a vlog and it was great. However, I just decided, I was just like, hey, I might as well include these since I really like them and, all of that. Here's A Day of Fallen Night, the edges, Here's, the end paper on that, and then the royal hardback, all of that. And I like the A Day of Fallen Night a little bit more, I think, because I think the blue and the gold go together better than the silver and the orange. Silver and the orange is a little bit much, but I do enjoy the blue and the gold. So yeah, love these guys. Okay, the next books, two of them are from my two Fairly subscription boxes. And the others are just books I got off Mercari because I wanted the series, but I was not going to pick up the OG covers because fuck the OG covers. Sorry, I'm getting comfy. So the first book is Sing Me to Sleep, which was the YA subscription book for the month of June. So Sing Me to Sleep by Gabby Burton. I actually saw the OG covers of this book, at a Barnes & Noble, and I was like, I like this one better. So yeah, and I like this book a lot simply because, oh my god, I barely even noticed this, but the end papers are freaking gorgeous. I didn't, yeah, the end papers are gorgeous, if you can see. And then the naked hardback is also really pretty too. See? It's gorgeous. And then for my Fairy Loot subscription boxes, book box things, I usually keep the letter to the author art print thing, and then also the theme card that I was given. Usually that's what I keep. And then also I forgot to show you the edges of the book. See, it's just really pretty, and they wrap all the way around. What I know about this book, it's essentially like, it's been marketed, like the way it's been marketed is like it's a book with like an all black black cast, and it's essentially like how yeah, it's essentially about like Siren trying like to do her best not to kill people. I think that's the point of the book. I don't really remember, honestly, but I do know that I'm pretty excited to read it simply because it's very, very pretty. The next book is the next book is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. This book was the this one was the book for the month of May, I think. Yeah, month of May. And honestly, I've really liked this book. Like I like this cover better than the original, honestly, so I'm glad I got it. I know it's like a rival / enemies to lovers thing. Here's the naked hardback. I love the little gold things on it. I love the like whole gold theme of it. And you know, again, this is the art print and the theme card that I usually keep in here. And then also the end papers, which are actually gilded inside, if you can see that. That's really pretty. But yeah, I keep those in there because I don't like to lose them. And then the edges, which are letters, which is what's included in the book. So I know that this book is essentially two people who are fighting for the same position at like a newspaper in like a historical setting, but the girl is writing letters to her brother, but accidentally her rival receives them and starts reading them and replying. So, and now here are the books that I was most excited for that I got this month. So it's the Gilded Wolves set from Fairy Loot. So it includes the Gilded Wolves, the Silver Serpents, and the Bronze Beasts. This series has been pitched to me as Six of Crows, but historical fiction. And we will be the judge of that because I read the entirety, all of Six of Crows, and I absolutely adored it. So we are going to have to see how it measures up. I don't think it's going to, so I'm going to keep my expectations kind of low. But I am really excited, especially since I have these editions. And also, look at these edges. Look at how they make an entire picture. It's just so pretty to me. Like, just, yeah. So, anyways, this entire series, before I decided to get these, I read the first chapter on Kindle Unlimited because I think the first two books are available on Kindle Unlimited. I read it and I was like, okay, gimme, because someone gets murdered in the first chapter. So I was like, yeah, I think we're good. So yeah, but I'm really excited. Essentially, I think what this series is essentially about oh god, I completely forget what this series is about. All I remember mainly is the first chapter, which I think is a pretty good sign. Oh, I think I'll just read off this what the inside flap of the first book says. Paris, 1889. The city is on the cusp of industry and power, and the Exposition Universelle has breathed new life into the streets and dredged up ancient secrets. Here, no one keeps tabs on dark truths better than treasure hunter and wealthy hotelier Montagnet Aller. When the Order of Babel coerces him to Aller something. When the Order of Babel coerces him to hunt down an ancient artifact, Severin is offered a treasure he never imagined, his true inheritance. Together with a band of unlikely experts, Severin sets off to explore the dark, glittering heart of Paris. What they find might change the course of history, but only if they can stay alive. Ooh, okay. Now I'm really excited. But I'll show you all of the books. I remember I just forgot to do that. So here's the Gilded Wolves, and then it has the Eiffel Tower up front, the spine, and then the back. The back says, no one believes in them, but soon no one will forget them. See? Here is the Silvered Serpents. Spine, edges, and then the back. The back says, they are each other's greatest greatest danger, and only hope. And then Bronze Beasts. See that? Spine. And then the back, it says, in love they breathed, in destiny they believed. In the end, will divinity be their demise? ? So yeah, this video wasn't going to be very long in the process because I have cut down on my book buying for pretty majorly. And honestly, I'm pretty proud of myself because I went on a ban, kind of, but it wasn't really much of a ban because I've been it wasn't really much of a ban, as you can say. But essentially what I think this entire thing was, it was just proof to me that I could, control myself. I think mainly with all of my other book update things, it was mainly just impulse that made me buy the books. And a lot of other just feelings of just oh, hey, I can buy these now because I have so much space now. But it really just was not viable for me to be able to be buying so many books at one time in the same month, especially since beforehand I would spend at least $70 every time I went to Barnes and Noble. Every time. And that's just not economically viable for me as, a broke college student. So this is much more manageable level of things, and I think I can bring it down even further in the months to come. But something that I noticed that I was getting more and more picky about with these books is that I wanted to be very sure that I wanted them on my shelves. I wasn't going to just pick them up just because they were pretty. I wasn't going to pick them up just because, oh, I saw that book on TikTok, I'm going to grab it. No, not going to do that.